My darling, my dear, whoever the heck you are, you came across this message because you have believed in someone's potential for a really long time. And while that is admirable, because it just shows the pureness of your heart and it shows how genuine you are of a person to believe the best in everybody around you. But there's something that you are missing in regards to how you're being treated. So all of a sudden, this loud truck just passed in the background, and I heard in my mind steamrolled. So I can't help but think that there is, in fact, like a lot of connections. It might not even just be like romantic connections for you, where you have seen yourself people please to the point that you are exhausting yourself, that you are drained, that you're burnt out. And there might have been breakups that have sent you into a burnout, or relationships that have sent you into a burnout and then breaking up because of that. You're not alone in that. Trust me. But that just shows the power of your emotions and the way that your emotions have been able to carry and even coddle some people, you know, if you know, and enabling certain situations didn't help other people grow the way it helped you did. You've learned a lot through these dynamics. It doesn't mean that you should have been treated the way that you did, of course not. But there is something that you've gained that other people might not have if they were treated the same way as you have. And that's because of your heart and how understanding you are. You're not like everybody else. And people who try and fit you into a box, you're probably somebody that people look at and they're like, I I like get you, but I also can't put my finger on what it is that's different or unique about you that doesn't make you like everybody else. Like you are I'm hearing this one person who I used to work with, her name is Phoebe, and she said to me once that I was like unapologetically myself. And that and she said it as a compliment. Like she meant it like with love, and it made me incredibly insecure because I was like, what does that even mean? Aren't we all ourselves? But we're not. As I mean, especially for the high masking of autistic people, but that's a very specific group there. The neurodivergents know what I'm talking about. It's okay. It's okay to be who you are. And it's okay if other people don't always see that. It's just giving you the opportunity to choose, are you going to go for yourself or against yourself? Because this is kind of giving like when you realize people are not 100% on your team, or they're not going to do like make choices in consideration of you, that's now your decision to be like, okay, I know that this person is going to treat me this way. Am I going to allow that? Am I going to keep moving forward in the way of allowing, or settling, rather? Settling is the word that they're like it came in my mind like boldface. Are you going to settle for less because that's all that this person's offering you, no matter the dynamic? Or are you going to stand up for yourself, stand in what you know is right, and speak up when you need to, even if it means causing disruption? Because confrontation can cause disruption, yes, but it doesn't have to. It's the fact that a lot of people are so afraid and avoidant to confrontation that they would rather harbor and fester and make things worse rather than just listening, showing compassion, grace, and understanding that not everything is meant to be a jab. And yes, of course, there are people that have abusive tendencies and they might not even recognize that. And those are not the people you should be trying to reconcile with unless you know that that's ended. Unless you know that that's stopped, that's not something you should be messing around with. That's for a specific person because I don't think that's for everybody. But I'm just here to say, in my nice quiet house, I have all the windows open. A it's like a drizzling type of day, but there's a really breezy and it's overcast. So it was heavy raining the last few days, but it feels like the calm after the storm, literally. And I know that's where you're about to get to. There's a reason why, like, I'm paying attention to that in this moment. There's never, when I do channeled messages, where my attention goes to is important, you know? So you might be feeling like the flow, like, okay, how do I explain this? Um, you might be feeling, oh, okay. So your nervous system is starting to understand what regulation is. And that almost scares your body. It almost makes you feel anxious because things are starting to slow down. And that, while it is awesome and like you're finally starting to like understand what relaxation is for you and your body and what really treasure rest and give yourself rest, you might also battle with like gaslighting yourself and like not doing enough. So it's like this back and forth of, okay, while this feels good and allowing myself to rest, you might like be like, okay, this is too much rest. And you're not actually nourishing yourself to the fullest extent. Hmm. I look up and I see the sun um, tapestry that I have up there. I got from one of my clients who's amazing. Um, and there's something about being outside, literally sitting in the sunlight might be helpful to you at this time. Connecting with the world around you, stuff like, if especially if you're like in a mental fog, if you're dissociating a lot. It was interesting that when I switched my position, I sat in this, which is like typically a yoga pose, but I didn't want to like do all the way in. But this and or this, I wish I knew what this one's called. This is called the lotus position. But there might be something about yoga, about stretching your body, about like connecting with your body and or nature. One and or both might resonate for you specifically. But I don't know, from going from the weather into going into listening to the wind, the flow of things is important. And that might be what's surprising your nervous system right now, because you finally are going into flow. And maybe that's kind of, you're battling still with this fight or flight, like, is safety comfortable? Maybe not yet, but you might be working through that in order to see real positive change happen. And you've already done the hard stuff in order to make this part happen. That's why we're in the calm. That's why it's peace. That's why it's quiet. If you really listen, you hear the sounds of outside and nature. And I literally love that more than anything in this world. I was like scrolling through TikTok earlier when I had the babies sleeping. And it was it was like 10 sounds, uh 10 sounds that you don't think about that are the best thing you've ever heard. And like one of them was like the sounds of the country. I'm not wording that properly. And if I do catch a glimpse of who that creator is, I would love to tag it, because honestly, all she did was show her face. She smiled, and then she lifted up the camera, and you heard the sounds of the country, the crickets, the wind, it's so beautiful, simple, powerful, and it's so grounding to be listening to everything that you're surrounded with, everything that you're alive with. It's not just us people out here, guys. And when we stop trying to dissociate into pretending that we're connecting with other people through social means and get back to the roots of things, I think we'll all start to feel a little better each day by taking these small steps. So I hope this message was for you. Thank you, as always, for being here and trusting me to read or channel for you, because that's what this was today. But I hope that you have a wonderful day. This message finds you well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.